Hello. So today we are going to talk about a source eternal post which goes like this. There is no shame in losing a significant fight, but there is a lot of shame in getting engulfed or being caught up in the insignificant ones. What is this trying to say? What is this trying to hint towards? Life is in itself a big fight. We have to struggle, we have to fight our own tendencies, many a times fight the others as well when we see that some kind of an injustice is ongoing. And hence, life in itself has been termed as a great fight. And when we talk about a significant or an insignificant fight, firstly, how is someone able to see a fight as significant or insignificant? Because this could be something which is very subjective. For someone, what they consider as a significant fight, for the other could be the very opposite. So, when does or how does one know that their definition of something to be fought for is really the right one? Or are they getting caught in their own ego traps? Are they getting caught by some sort of a deflection or some sort of a mirage that is being projected onto them by the others who want you to get involved in something which will just keep you trapped in circles and waste your time? Because in the end, life is about time, right? You see that many things are very important and they should be done. You see in your everyday life, you see a lot of injustices, you see a lot of malpractices. What will you fight for? But what can you really have a great impact on, or what can you really lovingly commit yourself towards so that you see a result in that direction? It is very important to decide this discernment, this vivek, to ignite within you, to make it happen, to get it born within you, this mindset, this discernment of being able to see what is significant, what is not. Now, that is the real deal, and that's what cracks the case of you not losing time or wasting energy on something which is futile in the long run. And to get this discernment, to see this, it is very important to be aware of what are the things that we really want and what are the things that are projected onto us. For example, you could look at a very smallest of the small things that you could argue for the price of an item with a local vendor, maybe a vegetable seller, or maybe someone who is selling you small items, which really the act of him or her selling those is indicating how much they are reliant on it for their survival, and maybe that 5 or 10 rupees that you bargained out of them could have really mattered to them. While people, when they buy from brands or when they take huge smartphones or appliances or even fashion accessories, they do not bargain with the multinational brands as such. So we see a hypocrisy that is run from us, from our own side, where we are able to, just because being the strong person in the equation by the virtue of us being buyers, a person who has more assets commanding the other who has lesser. But at the same time, when we see an enterprise that is ruling over us, or in a way is commanding a price, we tend to not show that same strength or that courage to bargain with them too. So, in this scenario, the fight that we have with the local vendor or someone who is very dependent on their livelihood for it, and trying to earn those $10 or $5 from them, is a futile fight, an insignificant one. And this is just an example. You could see in your life many instances of this happening where you might be bickering or getting angered over many small things. And right now, in your perception, they might not look as small or something that you can let go of so easily. But only by considering the possibility of something like this existing, where you could be wasting your time, you could see a possibility of redirecting your energies into something which will really be beneficial. Or, as they say in English, penny wise, pound foolish. You tried to save pennies to the last dime, yet you lost on your pounds. The currency which mattered was lost, it was ruined because of one's exaggerated focus on the penny or the small chiller. So, this discernment, this ability of being able to see what is it that is consuming your time. Are you trying to save by trying to save the pennies? Are you trying to save your weaknesses? Are you trying to stop yourself from gaining strength? Because the act of trying to gain strength, to go from strength to strength, it is an act like working out, like an exercise, like a building a muscle, and it is strenuous. It is something which takes a lot of effort. So, in order to avoid this sort of a very strenuous exercise, this sort of a very painful growth, what we do is we try to maximize our effect on the minor things. And in a way, we give ourselves a false feeling of accomplishment. But when we look at the bigger picture, we see that we have put ourselves into more ruins because of this. We try to shield our children, we try to shield our closed ones, our husbands, our wives, our parents, anyone we are in relationships with, and we try to shield their weaknesses and try to get favors in exchange for it. Yet we do not see that real love would have been making their weaknesses exposed or nude to an extent that they get the reality of the situation, wherein they see that living with those weaknesses is not an option, and to go towards real growth, real strength and understanding is the way wherein they could really be independent and lead a joyful life. We try to give false hopes, false chances, not express what we really feel, because we think that we will hurt the other and this will, in a way, maybe fracture our relationship with them. This might be true at times, and it requires a person or a not even a special person of any kind. It is just that you require that sensitivity within you, which will be established in you only by taking the hard way yourself. If you are not accepting the easy path for yourself, you will not let the other latch onto the easy path for themselves too, because you have on your own work towards that growth, work towards that hard path, work towards the significant fights. You will, by your own virtues and by your own work, become someone who is strong enough to lead by example. Even if you don't tell them very objectively as to this is the exact thing that you are doing wrong, you yourself become an inspiration for others to see the good and actually embark on the journey for themselves too.